Hello everyone, Shadows over Innistrad Remastered draft format has officially been broken. It follows the claim I made a couple days ago saying that Delirium was the best archetype, and I've been experimenting since then, and it turns out I was right. So without further ado, let's look into the archetype. The first deck I showed you, and the first time I experimented it, was when I opened Ishkan and I wanted to give it a try. This is what I drafted to a 7-1 record on stream, and you can find the link to the full video and playthrough in the description. This deck did not trophy, but went 6-3. That went 7-0. Why is Delirium the best deck in the format? Well, first of all, playing monocolored with a splash of something else is the best strategy overall in this format, because you cannot get color screwed. For example, if you're playing vampires and you're missing your red mana early in the game or your black mana early in the game, either of them, you will most likely lose because they're aggressive strategies, and missing the first couple drops will prove way too hard to overcome. Here, you have Grapple with the Past, Travel's Amulet, and other cards that help you find your second color. And you don't actually need it early in the game. So that makes this strategy so much better, since you're only relying on your opening hand having a forest. The other very strong point for this deck is that it has 4 commons. 2 of them used to be uncommons that are completely broken. A Gdalrul Dryad is a 1/1 Death Touch for 1 mana, and when you have Delirium, it's a 3/3 Death Touch. In other formats, what Delirium is hard to get, it would be okay, but here getting Delirium is so easy, meaning you have a 3/3 for 1 mana, 3/3 Death Touch for 1 mana, which is way below an average cost for a card like this. And the thing is, people haven't caught up to it yet, so you may end up having more than a couple. I had 6 in this draft. I had 1, I think, wheeled, and I first picked it because it's probably the best card in the format. Having 6 of the best cards in one deck is completely insane. Obsessive Skinner, remember Luminarch Aspirant? Well, it's common now. So while you had this mythic rare, well, it was just rare, but it felt like a mythic, it's just a common now. So it plays very much like Luminarch Aspirant, but you have more than 1. 2, I have a deck with 4. How can you have a deck that has 6 of the most powerful commons in one deck plus 2 mythic rares at commons? This is what makes this format completely imbalanced and this deck completely broken. Along with that, you have Rabbit Bite. 2 mana, destroy target creature. Why? Because you have a Dryad that's 1/1 Death Touch. So you will always have something, or most likely have something, to destroy any creature you want. And these 3 cards are common. To make this work, you need Grapple with the Past or any other Delirium enablers. Grapple with the Past is also common. And the good thing about this is it does not simply give you Delirium. It also brings back Double Dryad and an Obsessive Skinner if they die. So you have these 2 cards that cost 1 and 2 mana that completely dominate the board on their own, and if they manage to kill them, you bring them back. So these are just 4 commons, and you can have any number of them in your deck, and it doesn't matter what else you have. These will win games on their own. 4 commons, 4 green commons. It doesn't really matter what you have around that. You can play white, you can play black, some cards go better with them, but it really doesn't matter. So that's why you want to play more forest to make sure you play dryads early in the game, and you can maybe play 2 on turn 2. That makes for pretty sick draws with like dryad turn 1, dryad turn 2, and then grapple, have delirium, attack for 6 or 9 by turn 3. You have in black Macabre Waltz that helps you with delirium and brings back dryads that you can play right away because they're so cheap. So for 2 mana, discard a land, you get 2 3/3 Death Toucher on the same turn. I've been aggressively drafting these decks. This is a small sample. I went 7-1, 7-1, 6-3, 7-0. So that's quite a record. Sometimes though, it does not go exactly the way you want, and you end up with like less dryads, less vessels. Yeah, vessel is kind of like grapple, less skinners. But even then, having these dryads, these 3/3 Death Toucher for 1, they can be just anything. This was more of a fill your graveyard strategy, and after a while, that's probably how green-black Delirium will look like. Bunch of 3 drops, bunch of 4 and 5 drops that could win the games, but that will take a longer time. As long as people haven't caught up to this strategy, you will most likely end up with decks like this. And this is not going to be fair. This plays a lot more like Constructed than Limited, and you will farm these events. There's just nothing that comes anywhere close to this. So if you want to give it a try now before it becomes too popular. Let me know what you think about this deck in the comments. Thanks for watching, like and subscribe, and see you later.